here's the 4 million cost. So just a better presentation, that's my suggestion, to communicate to the community that in fact you have a $1.2 million surplus this year if you take out the timing difference on the bonds. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Certainly.
I appreciate what Dr. Gonzalez said about the timing issue with the maintenance contract that you have. That maintenance contract does have dedicated funds already guaranteed by the loan that you have. So basically, that should be in your receivables as a loan coming through. It's not a deficit. It's going to be actually a 1.6 surplus in your budget. Now, I know you can't put it on the books because of the timing difference, but it really is a 1.6 plus on the budget.
Thank you. Board, do y'all have any?
And before we go to the board, anybody else from the public? Board?
I have a question. I saw on there, I don't know what slide it's on. I didn't write it down. Public transportation. You decreased by $447,000. How did we do that? I mean, that seems public transportation seems like something we would need for our kids.
I think a lot of it's going to be overtime.
400,000?
A lot of it will be.
How?
Well, we're not having school on a lot of Fridays. And instead of them having instead of 6 guaranteed hours a day, they have 5 guaranteed hours a day. So a lot of it will be overtime. And I think they were also very careful when they did their budget.
So they were getting paid that much? The bus drivers are getting paid $400,000?
I would have to go back and look, but overtime, when you don't have a lot of drivers, overtime racks up because kids still have to go to football games on Friday nights, where before the bus drivers would usually take them in the morning, and depending on where they were going, they still had an afternoon route, and then they would leave to go to the football game. Now, a lot of Fridays, we're not in school.
Are we decreasing bus routes?
I'm not aware of decreasing
No.
any bus routes.
No, we're not. It has to do with the fact that we're not transporting kids on Fridays.
Are we doing anything for the people that are still coming to campus? I know that their service is going to be offered on campus for some people on Fridays. Are we busing anybody on those days?
I don't know the answer to that.
Sure. Is Zeke in the room?
But I mean, if we do, ACE is going to pay for the cost of it to take them to ACE.
Are we running buses for students on Friday that need ACE, or is it parents that will have to take them? So yeah, so for Fridays, if kids are coming in for ACE or they're coming in for Boys and Girls Club, we are not providing.
They're getting dropped off.
Parents have to.
Are we busing Batesville?
We have a dedicated bus going to Batesville, yes, ma'am.
Have we always done that?
We did not do it last year, but we done it years before. Yes, ma'am.
Seems like a big cut. I don't know.
We'll watch it throughout the year.
So it may fluctuate as always.
Maybe, I mean, we've got a new director in there also as well. So we'll watch it.
Cool. I just want to make sure that we didn't cut so much that we're not getting kids to school.
No.
So sounds like a big bus. Look, that
Kids
big
are
cut.
priority. They always have been.
We'll get the kids.
I was gonna ask about the aids, because I remember hearing that about bus aids being cut. Was that cut completely, bus aids?
No.
No.
We have the same amount of bus aides we have.
Yeah, the monitors, we have the same amount of monitors. Mhm.
Thank you.
I have one more question. On the 3,097 find the ADA, is that still viable, or does it look like it might be a little higher?
No, I don't think it's viable, and I don't think it'll be higher. I'm still back with my original estimate, but the year will tell.
I'll present that in a minute.
Yeah, that's.
38, something.
3845.
There, you have it on my first sheet.
86.
86.9, I believe,
86.9.
was on the slide. No, but with it being refined ADA, like the slide said, there's a lot of different calculations that go into that. You can't just take that number and multiply it times 86%. There's weighted averages. There's a lot of things that go into that calculation.
And
We'll see. Time will tell. Yes, it
on
does.
some kids.
If we find out that it is more, is there a way, I know we voted on a compensation plan and you mentioned it at the last meeting about that 2% increase. Feeling bad about that 2% increase. Is there a way for us to go back and revisit their compensation, like an incentive? If we do end up with greater enrollment and are we able to do something like that as a board?
Why don't, when we get there, then we will evaluate that.
It's just a question. Can we do it? Is it
I would
something-
think we could do a mid-year something or another, but let's get there and then we'll.
I'm just wondering, it can be an incentive. We've always talked about attendance, and I think if we push it and we say, let's keep attendance going, it can keep people bringing kids in. And so it could be something that we could speak about as a board to incentivize them to coming to school and getting the teachers to incentivize that as well.
All right, any other questions?
Trustee Rizzo, I think Trustee Rizzo had that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bentley. And thank you for that presentation. I did have some clarifying questions because I've gotten a lot of phone calls regarding this. And it's twice, I think, that you've mentioned this, that it cost $100 per every $1,000 on that increase rate. But on that House Bill 2, was that acceptable to, I guess, let me clarify this. On the 8,000, did you give an $8,000 increase? We're not talking net, but an $8,000 increase, or did you subtract that 800,
No, I'm not allowed to subtract it. They got the 8,000 and
they
then,
got the 8 and on the 4, they got the
Yes.
4?
Staff got their
yeah.
8,000.
And so then it's going to cost us $800 for each staff member that got the 8,000. It's going to cost the district $800 in benefits.
Thank you.
Mhm.
The other thing is, the survey, page number 7, obviously there's a huge disparity on the survey on the responses. What do you do to promote that survey to come in?
We send a text message and an email to all staff. And it's mentioned in the video. So we promote staff to take it and it is anonymous. But this is really one of the first times that we've ever surveyed staff. And so I do feel like participation will start to increase as people start to realize that we really do use what they advise in their surveys, like their feedback, to make things better.
And then the other, probably the most important part of that is the rollout. It seems to be like a disconnect somewhere because we get phone calls. Did I get a raise? Did I get a raise? Can you kind of walk me through that as to like, we come to the board meeting, we vote on it, and then obviously it takes a little bit of time to put all the data together, all the message out. But can you walk me through that as to, from that point, how does it get to the
Like when will they see the?
exactly, well, not just the increase, but the communication aspect of it?
I think it's usually in Ms. Colas's update. I believe Anne Marie has posted quite a bit about it on Facebook and the website.
I think Jesse might be saying, like, how do they get notified of the exact amount they're gonna get in each?
When we do their pay letters that should be coming out as soon as we can get everything situated and get time to get pay letters out.
Sydney?
So you're,
I did because I've gotten a lot of phone calls, auxiliary. I take it that's also considered custodians.
Yes.
And I got phone calls from obviously different people, all kinds of different people asking me, did we get a raise? And so I'm having to deliver that message to them. Obviously, we don't get into the details, right? And then I said, get with your supervisor. And so if I'm getting it from one person, but if I'm getting it from multiple people, there's a disconnect there. So I would encourage the communication aspect of it, whether it's through human resources or whatever means, so that they understand that they're valued, you know. You lose that momentum, you lose that aspect of it, the positivity of it is what you're losing, the disconnect. So I would encourage you working on that as well. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We can pull that group together too and meet with them to tell them, which would probably honestly have been better than sending them an email or a text to watch a video
Right.
for that group.
So just, trustee Adriza brought up a good point about the pay letters, you mentioned. So those will be going out soon.
I think we try to do that early September. Second week of September historically.
Okay. So, right. I know it's hard to do anything about this year, but if we can maybe get those out earlier next year.
If we can get a compensation plan
Right.
approved earlier,
Yes.
then
Yeah.
that will speed
Yeah,
up a
well,
lot of
that-
things.
Exactly. So, you need us to do that as well. So you can do that and get that information out.
I would like to have a compensation plan approved in May, and then staff knows what they're going to get paid, and then they can resign before the 45th day prior to the first day of instruction, which is, they have every right to do that. After that, then we don't have to accept their resignation.
Right. 'Cause I know at the college, we get it at least a month ahead of time, to know what we're getting.
I had
Yes.
emailed Ms. Polis about the same thing, and Ms. Polis had mentioned maybe April, like
Yeah.
trying to get it out
April, May.
to us in April and then approved
We need
by
to do our
May.
due
yes,
diligence.
So that,
Passing
what-
that compensation plan. So we
That's-
can get- Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it would make things go a lot smoother.
Yes.
Any trustees, did you have
I
another?
I had one final question. I forgot what page it was, but he talked about hiring retired teachers that you could use that money. Can y'all give me numbers as to what did we do to hire any of them? Did we have a reach out campaign? Because I'm concerned that we have subs that are already from day one, and Algebra 2 is one of them. And it doesn't seem like we're attracting anyone, right? But what did we do specifically to try to bring a retired teacher back to Uvalde?
I believe you only made a number of phone calls to retired teachers. Did you not? Like,
I'll wait for the little class after Labor Day.
right.
And so I guess we'll also determine whether or not we are short-staffed or have to.
Move people from campus to campus, which I believe we did fix the Algebra 2 situation, correct? So the Algebra 2 situation's been rectified.
So you'll have
There's a
better
teacher.
grasp on it by our next meeting, provide us some kind of update.
If you'll be real specific to me about what kind of update you want.
How many retired teachers did we reach out to? And how many retired teachers responded? And if they wanted to come back, what did we do? And then if they didn't come back, what kind of feedback did we do?
Okay, so
I'll email you.
Yeah. thank you. That would be very helpful.
helpful.
Thank you.
I have one more question, I'm sorry. So, and it's about the campuses that we have active right now. And I know we're gonna be transitioning and to the legacy campus. And I'm wondering, because Flores is older and the shifting of people, is that looking to help us in any way in saving money? And is Flores gonna be completely vacant, and is West Garden vacant? Or I know that we talked about that a while back, but there's no cost on here per facility, but I'm just wondering, is that going to impact the budget in any way? And would it help us is the question.
So we've looked at, the discussion was moving all of central office staff to Benson, and the way that we've looked at it and the number of programs that we have here, it won't work. So it does look very much like we'll have to consolidate all of curriculum and instruction into the Flores campus, a portion of it. And so we won't have to air condition and heat a lot of the building, but some of the building will still have to air condition and heat. And then we'll have to just general maintenance and updates to that building as necessary. So there will be some cost, but it wouldn't be as much as if we were running a whole school out of there.
Where is curriculum and instruction health right now?
They are in the old Crossroads building, which is like
Oppenheimer.
3 portables off of Oppenheimer. where we need to get them out of there because it's pretty bad. It's it's bad. So
that- No one will be over there.
that one will close. My recommendation is going to be that we sell those portables because they're just they're not salvageable at this point anymore. And then maintenance, if some of us moved out of central office across the street, we could move maintenance over into the other building. It just totally depends on, we're not quite that far yet, but those discussions are somewhat being had about what is the most reasonable thing for us to do that's the most cost effective. So when we get a little further down the road, we're still waiting on the appraisal to come in.
And I emailed him again today.
Yeah, so I know Ms. Bindley's been following.
He's having trouble with one
Right.
campus.
So, but as soon as we get that, we'll be bringing that back to y'all to make some decisions about facilities. Probably, hopefully next month or the following month.
Any more questions from the board? Okay,
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Board President, I make a motion that we adjourn from the public hearing.
Second.
Trustee Quinones made a motion to adjourn from the public hearing, second by trustee Rizzo. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Time now Good evening. The time is 6:23. I call the regular meeting of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that the notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. If you're able to, please stand for a moment of silence as we take 21 seconds to honor our 21 beautiful souls.
This moment, I'd like to recognize Leila Marie Salazar. Her birthday would have been September 10th.
Thank you. Thank you. Our invocation today will be given by Ms. Ramby.
Let's pray. Father, I just thank you that in your word, you promise to instruct us and teach us in the way we should go. And so we come tonight asking for your wisdom, your guidance, and Lord, your peace over this meeting. Lord, give our board wisdom. Lord, give this community wisdom. And I pray for healing, Lord, that you would just bring healing to Uvalde, especially the families that have lost their precious children. And so, God, we just commit this to you and declare our trust in you. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. This time, we'd like to recognize two of our cadets. Cadet Lieutenant Commander Justin McKeenan is this year's commanding officer. Lieutenant Commander McKeenan has been in the program since his 8th grade year, and since then was apparent that his drive and determination were going to lead him to the highest position in the program. Lieutenant Commander McKeenan is graduating a year early and has his sights set on attending the Naval Academy. Cadet McKeenan is a captain of the STEM team and a member of the award-winning Orienter team. Cadet Lieutenant Joaquin Schlesinger is this year's executive officer. Lieutenant Schlesinger also started the program in his 8th grade year and has excelled in leadership and organizational skills, leading him to the current position he holds now. Lieutenant Schlesinger is in standard progression will assume his role as unit commander next year. Cadet Schlesinger is the captain of the Orion team and a member of the marksmanship team. These two cadets give new life to the program and have large plans to take new direction. They will have full support of their staff, their instructors, and fellow cadets. We look to repeat receiving the NJROTC Navy Unit Achievement Award again this year under their command. Cadets will lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Of our nation. Holy blood, march.
Thank you. You may be seated. We will now go to open forum. We welcome your comments on items not listed on the agenda. The audience to patrons portion of the meeting is limited to 3 minutes per person and will last up to 15 minutes total. Delegations of more than 5 persons shall appoint 1 person to present their views to the board. Keep your comments in a positive nature, and please do not expect board discussion on items raised during the open forum at this meeting that are not on the agenda posted for this meeting. If comments during the course of the public forum warrant further information, we will direct the superintendent to gather information for consideration on a later date. We do have 6 individuals signed to speak, so we ask those 6 individuals to please make sure to respect the 3 minutes. The first speaker is Jennifer Gillen, who will be talking about the state of the district. And we have a mic for her. Jennifer, we're gonna take a mic over there too, okay? We'll take it to you.
No, good evening, Superintendent
Good evening.
Gomez Board. I go to you this night to voice my concerns about the state of all the schools and schools, but we're not even a month in the school year, and multiple fights have occurred, leading me to question the effectiveness of the new security sector, as well as the support for your teachers and staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Our next speaker is Mr. Anson Bills, who will be talking about fights in our schools, bullying in our schools.
Good evening. 6 years ago, I visited my youngest son's school to address a problem on the first day of school. His classroom was covered in ants. Despite the principal informing me that multiple work orders had been placed that summer, the issue wasn't resolved. My son missed the first 3 days of school because of it. That is my youngest son. That same year, my middle child was needing help academically. I went to the school and I spoke to the principal and counselor, and we got him the support that he needed. And a special thanks to Mr. Reyes, who's no longer with the district. This was the last time I saw a good example of this district solving a problem. As years passed, my concerns continued. In the months leading up to May 2022, I repeatedly contacted Robb Elementary about people cutting through the playground during recess. My youngest son was a student there at that time. He is now at Morales Junior High, where last year we saw multiple fights and incidents. Now we're in the first week of the school year. There's been 4 fights and 2 bullying incidents. And I'm sure there are more. Disorderly conduct, 42.01, assault, 2201, aggravated assault, 2202, And as for the bullying, Texas Education Code 37.0832. This district cares more about the budget and paying undeserving staff rather than the safety of our children and the needs of our teachers. The proof is in the overall TEA rating, a failing grade of an F, which is an embarrassment to our entire district and community. We haven't seen any improvement since 2019, and maybe that's why 600 kids have left this district. This is a formal notice. It is time for the parents to start holding this board accountable. We voted you in, we can vote you out.
Thank you, Mr. Bills. Next speaker is Ms. Amy Franco under 3A with the media release.
Good evening. My name is Amy Franco. I am a survivor of the Robb Elementary mass shooting. On July 21st, the board voted unanimously to release the Robb Elementary files. The president, Laura Perez, announced to the public that records will be released. But you lied. You failed us again. You asked us to trust you. But how can we? Your actions speak louder than your words. You say you stand for transparency, but you have withheld the very footage that will clear my name and show the courage and truth of what I did that day. Each of you made a statement to us, the families, the survivors, except you, Ms. Colas. What are your thoughts? As a superintendent, I feel it was your duty to properly make a statement. I would love to hear your response. Somewhere in this circle, someone is attempting to hide the negligence by administrators on May 24th. That circle consists of the board, the superintendent, the director of communications, and your attorneys. Ms. Colas, are you keeping information from the board? Are your attorneys keeping information from you? The law firm has been representing the district for years. The attorneys work for you, correct? Are your attorneys advising you not to speak? In those records is a video I am looking for. That video matters, not just for me, but for the truth. I know what happened. I lived it. I survived, I spoke, and now I demand to be seen for what I did, for what I endured, and for what you've tried to erase. I carry the weight of that day every moment of my life. The least you can do is carry the truth.
Thank you, Ms. Franco. Next speaker is Priscilla Moreno on 3A.
My question is for the board. When you guys go into closed session, if you all are considering the termination of Ms. Colas for the insubordination, the board agreed on releasing all the records, and and that's not what happened. And the district continues to fail to be transparent. Parents and families have asked them to do the right thing, and they still seem to be protecting someone by not releasing all the records.
Thank you, Ms. Moreno. Next speaker is Denise Feldman, altercation at school.
Yeah, I'm just up here to let you know the state of my concern of the altercation that happened at the school. Everybody saw the video. And my question was, why was there only one teacher in that classroom to control? I heard 50 boys. When I went to school, we had a principal and assistant principal. Is there a shortage? That's the reason why there's a shortage of teachers here. And I looked, those boys, I hope disciplinary action was taken. I don't know what happened, if it was a suspension or an expelled, but they do not, those boys that showed no respect toward that coach and would not stop. That was nothing but disrespect. I hope they were expelled from school. If I kept looking for an ounce, just an ounce of class in the crowd, why didn't 3 or 4 other boys go up there and help that poor coach? Kudos to him for hanging in there. But me as a parent, I would teach kindness at home, and I did not see any kindness. And that is my concern, because things root from home. And it's important that we teach our kids. It starts in our home at the dinner table. And I'm very concerned about Uvalde. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Selena Vasquez, bullying accountability.
Hello, it's my first time at a school board meeting, so please excuse my awkwardness. I have anxiety. I wanted to touch base on bullying and accountability at Dalton Elementary. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the school, so I'm sorry, but in the lower grade levels, my daughter is a first grade student at Dalton and has been experiencing bullying for the 3 years she has been attending Dalton. She is a special education student, and that seems to be the root cause of her bullying. I wanted to ask the board and Mr. JJ Suarez, at what point do we consider bullying at that age level genuinely malicious? Whereas a parent having to defend my child, I can pursue the proper channels as far as pressing charges against the other student, utilizing your stay away bullying form that is found on the district's website that just last week I was told by 2 administrators is not age appropriate to do that. I don't know what else I can do as a parent. I've gone as far as school admins. They've done their best. I do feel as though I'm being told their hands are limited. They're limited to what they can do at that age level. So as the school board, what can we do to also protect the children at that grade level? It's come to the point where my daughter's mental health has been affected. She's not only missing school for medical appointments, for frequent hospitalizations. She is now missing school because I can't get her to get out of bed. She is 6 years old. At that age, a 6-year-old should not be dealing with those emotions. I also want to point out that the private duty nurse we supply for the school district to attend my daughter's school to provide the medical care the school is failing to provide is there for medical reasons, not as a personal bodyguard for my child. So why does this keep occurring? And at what point can I get your help on the matter? Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Coles, we had, looked like two individuals speaking on bullying. If we could get with the chief about maybe putting together some type of program or admin, to put together some type of bullying program to present at the schools. We can start looking at that.
And I have 3 minutes. I didn't sign up for it. I've been gone for quite a long time, taking care of what. But all I've been doing is listening to what's going on here. And there still seems to be some miscommunication on what's happening.
Okay. Mr. Salazar, does the board have any?
That's fine if you don't want.
I don't have any objection to you speaking. Go ahead. You have 3 minutes, sir.
All right. I'm the grandfather of Layla Salazar. And if anybody has seen her with her crooked smile and stuff and about being bullied, she wasn't bullied. She knew how to stand up and protect the people that were being bullied. But now I hear that these children can't defend themselves, but I don't understand why. My son had a stroke at 14 because the doctor gave him the wrong medication. So that school provided him special care and everything my son needed to graduate. They went on a trip. They had to order a special bus for him that had TVs on it for the kids and everything. But they took care of their children from that system. Right now, from what I hear and what I've heard and what I've seen on Facebook, there's too much money going separate places that should be coming to these children and to these families that need the help, because the taxes are going up. That's fine, right? But whose fault is that? No, well, you can't shake your head to me. No, because I see it happening. Every time there's something on there, it's saying taxes are going up. So you can't tell me no. I'm sorry, Miss Ashley, but I don't know how many schools you have taught at before, or if this is your biggest district. I've not heard it has. So maybe they're wrong, or maybe somebody else is lying, because in this town, it seems to be like everybody is hiding something that needs to come out to be told the truth. And why can't we get a truth here? The shooting was it's all been on film, but you won't release records. Somebody's stopping people from releasing what needs to be released. I myself, as a grandparent to Layla, I want to know what happened. I want the accountability that should be, because the people that were there, that were responsible, did not do their job. And we lost 19 children and 2 teachers. And that's still going on. 3.5 years later, we got a memorial up going up somewhere, in different towns. We got nothing here in Uvalde. Why? There's no money. Everything's about the money. But to me, it's I need for you guys to search in here and see how you would feel if it was your person, your child. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. Trustee Rizzo would like to make a request.
I'm asking, thinking, President Suarez, I'm asking if we can bring item number 8D up to right below 3A. That's a possibility. Do I need to read the item or?
The request is to move AD to discuss and consider the possibility of acquiring additional legal counsel to after we reconvene from closed session of 3A. Is there any objections from the board of doing that? No? All right, so at this time, what we are going to do is we are going to enter into closed session. Closed session will be held under provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, Section 551.071 and 551.074. A, pursuant to Sections 551.071 and 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, attorney consultation regarding legal issues related to the potential release of information related to Robb Elementary tragedy. And then B, deliberation concerning approval of personnel employments, assignments, suspensions, and terminations. What we will do is we'll go discuss 3A, we'll come back out with a decision, and then we'll continue on. The time now is 6:50. We stand in closed session. Time now is 9:06. We are reconvening from closed session for action relevant to items covered during closed session and other items listed. 4A, consider and take possible action to authorize attorneys to release information related to the Robb Elementary tragedy. At this point, we would like our legal counsel to speak from Walsh Gallegos.
Thank you, sir. As was requested by the board, while I'm making this report to the board and out in public for purposes of discussing what has gone on with the release of records and what error occurred. Our firm was in charge of doing the release of records, and we had released the records in response to the PIA lawsuit where the court found that there needed to be a release of records. So our firm began that release of records and released what we had believed at the time to be the responsive documents. Well, upon releasing that information, we then heard back from the requesters, from the plaintiffs in the suit, asking some questions about it didn't look like we had released all the documents. Upon hearing that, our firm, went back and re-looked at the data that we had received from the district from the beginning and realized that they were correct and that we were wrong. We had not released all of the responsive information. That was an error on our side. When we were pulling the data, what we believe happened was when you submitted information to have it looked at by the Attorney General, originally you don't submit all the information, you just submit a sample of it. When we were ordered to do the release, that would be the entirety of the set of documents, not just the sample. We believe that we made an error, that all we released was the sampling. So there are more documents that are being released and will be released. We have discussed with opposing counsel that will be released to them no later than next Wednesday. We are going to release as we are able to release. We will continue to release each and every day and present them with whatever information we were able to get through. The court order in that circumstance, the reason it can't just be, hey, let's release it tomorrow, is that the court order requires that there be some confidential information that be redacted. For confidential information to be redacted, it just takes time to go through the documents and be able to do that. So as we are doing that, we will do that as quickly as we possibly can. We will have it no later than next Wednesday. And again, the plan is to be putting out that information as we're getting through it each day to get it out. If we can get it all out before next Wednesday, great, awesome. That's what our plan is. I do want to say a couple of pieces that I know have been public information or public discussion about why not. So there were three particular things. One particular item is, what about the cameras and what about the camera footage that is within the school district? Why did that not get released? And the reason for that is because that information was taken up by the Texas Public Safety Office. I won't say immediately, but within the first couple of days after the shooting. So that information is no longer in our control because state law enforcement took it and has been holding it. We, in response to this request, in response to the why did not get released, we have asked them, they are still currently in litigation about an open records request, and they have advised us that they are not going to release that information back to the district. So the district does not have any hallway video to release because we are not in possession of any of it. If and when that is, I believe that the stance will be that will get released, but we don't have it to be able to release it. There was also questions about 911 calls to the district. Just again, to make as clear as we can, there are not any 911 calls that went to the school district. The 911 system is controlled by the city, I believe, not the county, but the city. And so the city is the holder of those records. We do not have anything. We don't have anything we can release in regards to that. And then the last one I know that there had been questions about is, well, what about body camera footage? Why is there no body camera footage? Well, there is not, again, that the district possesses. Why? Because our officers at that time did not have body cameras. So there is no body camera footage from any of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District police officers. So, I believe that was the main portion that we wanted to say. Again, the error is on our side of the coin, that we thought we were releasing all of the information. when opposing counsels came back to us and said, are you sure you released everything? And we went and we re-reviewed the situation and pulled down more information. We came to realize that no, what it seems like happened was that we only did the exemplar as opposed to the full release. And we are in the process of correcting that. That is our error that got put in front of the school board. And we apologize profusely for the fact that we did that to the school board. We are not in any way trying to hide anything. We are not in any way trying to not release things. It was truly an error on our side for reasons that are our firm's business, but it is our error.
Thank you, Mr. Decker. And just to be clear, the board and the superintendent, we were not made aware that stuff was missing. Is that
Correct.
correct statement?
Because we were not aware until late last week, and then we presented that information to the board tonight. That is correct.
Right, because I know that we were asked as a board, so I want to make sure that we're got that out there. At this time, I will go ahead and open it up to any board members that want to speak on this issue.
So being advised that there is a lot of data, talking about 26,000 pages and 8,600 emails, and that's one of the reasons why it's taking time. They're going to have to go through and redact that information. Unfortunately, as a board, when we met a few weeks ago, we were given information that it was all going to be released. And so, of course, I was upset. I'll speak for myself. I was upset because we want to work towards transparency. And what is important to us is our children's safety. And what happened here in Uvalde, it can relay to all across the United States in safety for children. And that's one of the reasons why I feel that it's important that we release and we be transparent as an institution. As a side, we are going to also encourage Ms. Colas to seek other assistance and legal advice, because we are only as good as our own legal advice. And so that is, of course, what we're discussing. We want to make sure that we do not have any more errors. I appreciate the people that did speak up to show us that there was errors in that. There's no way for us to know 15,000 records and 3,000 records. There's no way for us to know that. It's the public that recognized it, and that's what is helping us call this error out. But we absolutely want to be transparent. We know what it means to the families. We know what it means to you, Amy, and we know what it means to all of the survivors here and the teachers. And so that's my statement. I'm sorry. I feel devastated. I have felt awful about it for 2 weeks. So I'm sorry about that, and we will stay on top of it. And we've asked them to roll out as soon as they get information. They're going to be releasing it and sending that out. And like I said, it's about 8,600 emails and 26,000 pages that are going to be coming.
Trustee,
I just really want to get back to education. The last thing I wanted to do was come back to this and have to put y'all back through this of being like, where is it? I don't want to do this anymore. I want the families to have what they need. I want the kids to get back to their education. I'd rather be come up with plans for bullying and fights. And we're working on it. You know, some things we just can't control, and we're pushing through it. We're going to get there for you.
For me, I honestly didn't think that we would come back and rehash, relook, talk about this thing again. When we came up here as a board, we spoke from our hearts. Our intent was to deliver everything that we had discussed, and I'm gonna touch on that here in a minute. Ms. Colas, not one of us on this board had anything to do with this. Make sure that everybody understands that. When we use the word error, that's putting it very lightly. The word negligent comes to mind from Walsh Gallegos. When Ms. Katie Payne from your law firm came to us and asked us about the appeal, she never provided us with detailed information as to what was going to be appealed, what was in question. She used certain words to let us to believe that this is what's going to take place. As time went by, we were new to the board, some of us. As time went by, we started asking, so who's the client and who's the attorney in this case? Why am I not able to see this data that we're withholding? Why am I losing credibility? Why is there no trust in the system? And we asked for that. We clearly asked for that on a written correspondence. What is in question? And let me see that so that I can be the judge of that. And I can decide as an individual and then as a group as to do we continue to withhold it or not. We're very deliberate and very specific with that attorney, with Katie Payne. We asked, is everything that I'm looking at going to be released? The answer was yes. Is there anything else that I don't have that is out there? The answer is no. And here we are. We come out, it's brought to our attention. We're not ignorant. We see something, we asked, and that something's not out there. And what do we get? We are the face of UCISD. As I told Ms. Payne one day, you have privilege. You get to get in your car, you drive here, you bill me, well, I don't know, $400 an hour. We talk. I have to pry information from you. You're not forthcoming. The videos is a prime example of that. I don't have to play lawyer for somebody to tell me, you're going to get questions about the video. You did a great job today. That should have taken place a long time ago with Ms. Payne. And what happens? Reactive is called. I've got to look at Ms. Franco calling me a liar. I did not lie to you, Ms. Franco. My heart's all in it. Didn't lie to anybody. I didn't lie to my brother. I didn't lie to the family members. We all thought we were doing right because the question was clear. Is everything that I'm looking at, because I asked for that, is going to be delivered? The answer was yes. Yet you, as Wash Gallegos, failed me. And your law firm will be held accountable, sir. We come here, we talk about it, and it's like a game of words. The what ifs. Well, what do you mean by everything? And what about, it's a never ending thing. It is a game that has no end, except the game has 21 names written on that game. 21 people that ain't coming back. Multiple survivors that have to deal with the situation, have to listen one more time to an apology. Where we beg for forgiveness, where we try to establish any type of credibility. When you think you're doing right and then somebody else lets you down, that, my friend, speaks a whole lot of volume. Sometimes people say you're not thorough with your explanations. You're not concise. You're not, and on with all these words. And I try to formulate my thoughts to where they're conveyed. And sometimes I miss things. I'm human. And for that, I apologize. But when I place my faith on Wash Gallegos, on you, Mr. Decker, on Katie Payne, and you let me down, there's no excuse for that, sir. You can call it a mistake. You can call it an error. It's a costly error, a very costly error. We have a ton of business that has to be dealt with this school. We spent, I don't know, 3 hours in the back discussing the same thing all over again, rehashing it. What's going to go out? What ain't going to go out? What's this? What's that? Look at the names right here, my friend. 21 of them. We read their birthdays. Mr. Salazar gives me a badge, picture with the kids, right? Now it's not in the heart, it's in the center. It's in your soul. I don't. Excusing you from employment is mild. Excusing you from being an attorney for the school is mild compared to how I really feel today. I'm sorry, Amy. Brother, I'm sorry.
I Trustee Rizzo just said everything that needed to be said. We all came out here on the 21st. We all came out here and voted unanimously to release the records. I felt that we made a huge positive step with the families and the survivors. I actually hugged some of the families that I hadn't hugged in a long time. Hugged Amy. And that's why I really wanted to make a point that we as a board and our superintendent were not aware that these records did not get released. We voted unanimously for us to move forward with this. And like Trustee Rizzo said, for me, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry as well. We stood strong together on that day and voted unanimously to release these. Like I told Mr. Decker, all of us up here are from this community. We all give so much in this community. And we're trying to do the right things for this community. And we will continue to try to do the right things for the community. I think that's what we all want.
I would like to also add, everybody up here, I mean, everybody's heart hurts because of this, because it's a rehash, and, we all move forward and we said, look, we've got to do what's right. We've got to keep, everything transparent so that you find trust in us again. And that's where we left. And it's disheartening. It's very, it's awful to wake up and you read all these articles about, oh, these trustees and, the superintendent. And here we are. We're really here to do what's best for the kids, for the school, for the survivors, for everybody. I mean, there's not one day that I don't wake up and I think about what happened. I mean, I have kids of my own and I look at them in the eye and I think, I just hope that, today will never, be that day. It's very hurtful, and it's just sad that y'all have to go through this and that we have to do this again. But I want you to know that, like, we all care for all of you and for this community, and that's why we're here. That's why we stay here till after midnight. We don't stop because we've got to get things done. So, that's all I can say. I apologize for the hurt and for the misinformation.
I did want to add, I'm sorry, were you done? And I did want to add, Ms. Franco came up and spoke during open forum about the hallway videos that we don't have. We don't have them, but somehow a video went out. And I actually saw the video, and when I saw the video and it cleared you, I'm glad that video was there, because you have been through so much. And that video, how it got out, I don't know, because we don't have that. Our district doesn't have it, but it got out somewhere. But it cleared you, Amy. It cleared you from any wrongdoing and anything that you were accused of. Yes, ma'am. 100% he did. 100% he did.
And that's why I stand certified,
Yes, ma'am.
because I will stand taller than him.
Yes, ma'am. And we appreciate you. Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate all of our teachers, everyone that survived that video.
Yes.
We all have a story, and that's one of the reasons why transparency is so important. We know that y'all are survivors,
Yes.
and that's what hurts me about not about sending the information out is that it gives y'all that story that no one else knows, but you have it, you carry it in your heart, and everyone else will see what y'all went through and know what we went through as a town. We have to release it. We have to release it. It's part of the healing process. And I pray that we do that. I think about this is that evil happened that day, right? We can never go back, can never change what happened. But I believe in God. And I think God works in mysterious ways, and he sends us people to take action when it's necessary. Check the locks, check the doors, get the keys right. You know, there's all kinds of things that we're called to do as a human being in this world. Are we perfect? We're not perfect. We can't stop evil, but we can make sure we're doing things right. And that's what I believe about transparency, is that whatever happened here, that other districts won't happen to them. That it's not about making sure that the fences are higher, or that the doors aren't propped open, or it kills me that they show the video of you and say, what did this teacher do wrong? I don't want the burden to be all on our teachers to survive. The whole district, we need to figure out how to be safer in schools, because we can't stop evil. Unfortunately, we can't, but we can work harder at making our schools safer. That's my hope in being transparent.
Thank you, Trustee Gonzalez. And I open the floor to a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say I've been here almost 2 years, and I came here with a heart full of love to do the right things for the community and the children and the people that I serve every day, that truly I have grown to love. I love this community. And I generally have not spoken because I let the board speak, and I agree completely with them. So they are your representatives, and I'm here to serve them, and I'm here to serve you, and I want to serve well. And so I'm deeply sorry that we find ourselves in this situation, and I want them to know, and I want you to know that I will work diligently to make sure that we get done what needs to get done every single day for kids in our schools. And again, just that I'm deeply sorry for the pain that this has caused everyone, the entire community.
Thank you.
The school, I'm sorry, the attorney, your legal counsel has made to the Texas Public Safety Office the request to release the video information property that belongs to the school. Have you been made aware of that? How many attempts have been made in 3 years and 3 months?
I just know of one.
One. Sad. Fire them. Get somebody else. They don't deserve to represent Uvalde in the school board.
Right?
Thank you. I will now entertain a motion if there's one.
Thank you, President Suarez. I move to authorize the superintendent and council to release all documents related to the shooting at Robb Elementary, with the exception of any safety plans. This includes the release of all attorney-client privileged information.
Motion made by Trustee Rizzo, second by Trustee Gonzalez. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And just for the record, I don't vote unless there's a tie. The presiding officer doesn't vote unless there's a tie. So, but it does pass unanimously. All right. So now we had a request to move to 8D. Discuss and consider the possibility of acquiring. We're going to go ahead and we'll pause for a little bit, allow people that need to leave. There was a motion, or not a motion, but a suggestion from trustee Rizzo to move item 8D, items of division of administration and operations, discuss and consider the possibility of acquiring additional legal counsel.
Thank you, President Suarez. I specifically asked the board and the superintendent to add this item to the agenda. As we have stated before, I have zero confidence in our legal team. Dating back to been on the board for a short time, but dating back to specifically May 24th and the advice that they have been providing us on how to handle the situation. I at one point asked Ms. Katie Payne with Walsh Gallegos if she had ever dealt with anything remotely close to this situation, and the answer was no. I had asked her if at any time she had asked any other law firm to provide them or contract this information out so that they could help us through this process. The answer was no. As we mentioned just a minute ago, that the information is never forthcoming. It is pulling teeth. It is very deceptive. It is it's a word game, and it is an injustice at so many levels that you may look at it as injustice to us, but it's an injustice to every single individual here, because at one point or another, you may be the one needing the help. And that's the type of advice you're going to get. So I've asked, can we obtain records even though they're no longer your law firm? The question has been answered. They're your records. You can obtain those records. So it's very clear as far as that goes. I have asked, if it's some kind of contract, and it's basically a retainer fee, is my understanding. And so what I'm asking the superintendent is to find us different attorneys, different law firms to provide us with the guidance, because at this point, we're just spending money that we don't have with Walsh Gallegos and their team.
I agree. I think I would recommend that we try to go out to Thompson and Horton and see. I would like to try to retain those records. I mean, there are records. I don't know why we can't get them back, and maybe we can put a fight into trying to get those recordings back. They're ours. I don't know. I think you can request them. I think we should request them and fight a little and try to get that back. But I've heard very good things about Thompson and Horton, and I know that I've spoken with Ms. Polis about them before, and I think Mo Casey recommended them too. But anyways, I agree. I think we need some other new counsel to come in. It's disappointing what happened, and anyways.
Mr. Board President, I make a motion that we move forward with having the superintendent discuss with Thompson and Horton of putting them on a retainer.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Quinones, second by trustee Gonzalez. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. All right, so we are now going to reconvene in closed session. Closed session will be held under provisions of Texas Government Code Chapter 551, Sections 551.071 and 551.074 to deliberate concerning approval of personnel employments, assignments, and suspensions and terminations. The time now is 9:35.